So the second point now, so you can write point number 2, is an Islam is balanced and just between the atheists that do not believe in a God at all, feeling suffocated day and night by the voice in their fitrah, in their natural inclination, the thing that tells you that there is a God, the thing that allows you to contemplate over the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to see how just in ourselves, the evidence in ourselves as human beings, the way we are able to communicate, how sound is able to come out of our mouths and produce words that another human being can understand and then communicate back to you. Something as small as that we do not, contemplate over, or we do not think of at all. Something as amazing as that, right? Something that as amazing as seeing, being able to see. Something as amazing as being able to feel once we touch something. If something is burning, that we have nerves that allow us to realize that something is burning and we move our hand away. Or that it is extremely cold and likewise we move our hand away, right? That is part of our creation. The fact that our hearts pump blood to all the places in our body that requires it for us to survive without any effort from us. That we have a muscle in our body, in our chest, that does that for us without us doing anything at all. That miracle in and of itself. The fact that our brain sends signals to different parts of our body for them to react. When we have a movement, when we move our hands or our feet or whatever it is, that is our brain sending signals to different places in our body for them to do the thing that what we want it to do. Right? All of these different things that are just based on our own creation, let alone the creation of the sun and the moon and the stars and the sky, right? And the lakes and the oceans and seas and all the different animals that exist and all the different species that exist. That we see all of this creation and we contemplate about all of these things, and yet we still believe that this does not have any proof in it, that there is a creator out there, that a perfect creator that was able to create all of this. And now, so that this was a unbelievable, so this is something, a sign that is for us to be able to realize that there is a creator. However, all of these signs, if they do not mean to us that there is a creator and that we can still deny the existence of God, this is something that the atheists struggle with day and night, that their natural disposition and their natural inclination suffocates them, in that it always reminds them of the existence of a God, especially when they're helpless, such as matters in circumstances where they are sick, terminally ill, or very sick, and medicine isn't working, and nothing else is working, and they become completely helpless and hopeless, and the only thing they can now depend on is a higher being, a supreme being to cure them in that situation. Or if they are in a situation where it's extreme danger, extreme, severe danger, such as turbulence on a plane, for example, or strong winds in the ocean, and you have nothing to help you survive that situation other than depending on the only one who can control that affair. And so in those situations, they are in a dilemma between continuing to deny the existence of a creator, and between accepting his existence and attributing the perfect creation and all of the things that we see around us to this creator. Now, so in their hearts, constantly challenging logic and intellect, right? They are constantly challenging everything that they see. Anything from creation, they attribute it to something other than the creator. And so constantly they are going through this struggle and trying to figure out what is true and what is not true. So between the first group, which are the atheists that are in that situation, and the second group is between those who worship multiple gods. And so they do not deny the existence of God. Rather, they have added many different gods and they worship many different gods. So much so that they end up worshipping things such as cows and rocks and stones and trees and so on. Things that neither benefit them nor can cause them harm. Things that if they were gods would be able to protect themselves. So if you were to worship a god, a rock, for example, or a tree, for example, and we see day and night people who cut down trees. We see day and night people who pick up rocks and throw rocks. And we always see people who obviously slaughter cows, or cows die. Even if no one slaughters them, eventually they die. So how can this be a God when they cannot prevent even these things from happening to themselves? And they cannot prevent anyone from doing these things to them. And so that is enough evidence to know that these are false gods. And so this is the two extremes once again, and we'll realize the balance of Islam between these two extremes. And so as for the religion of Islam, then it is founded upon the belief of one true God that does not have any associate. That does not have any associate. Does not have a mother nor a son. And all other gods that are worshipped besides Him and besides Allah, besides the one true God, are created beings whose Lord and Creator is the Lord of all existence, Allah the Most High. So that is the difference between Islam and between atheism and those who are polytheists. On one side we see that they are atheists and they deny the existence of God altogether. And on the other side, we see them worshipping multiple gods. And Islam is in the middle. It neither denies the existence of God, nor does it worship multiple gods or believe in multiple gods. Rather, it believes in one true God, deserving of worship, who is responsible for all of creation, and who is the one who sustains and provides for all of creation. One true God, not multiple gods, and not the denial of God altogether.